press my big button.
0.24 rank.
Yeah. You're a big fan of business emo. How is No Luck under Forco? Can you explain that one?
I think No Luck lost to you in the SS.
Lost him in the SS. When they lose to me? In the
Yeah, on abortion. When you guys were running an abortion
never
topic.
debated abortion. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. He was trying to amp you, and I hopped in the call while you guys were talking about abortion. You just lied on your mom, bro.
Have you never seen that guy like actually debating?
You lied on your mama.
I've seen him debate.
We never actually debated. So what's funny?
It was a fake debate.
Here's my issue. Stop swearing. Here's my issue.
It was a fake debate.
Like, bro, I don't even know if that debate exists. Number one.
Because I actually think I can gauge debate skill off of conversation, even if you want to call it conversation.
Not necessarily. He's really beaten Aeroflame. He's beaten.
No, I disagree with that.
You disagree with that?
I need to see the Aeroflame. I need to see the Aeroflame and the business debates. I need to see them both.
Wait,
substantiation, please. Substantiation, please.
Axe business.
Substantiation. Business.
Axe business.
I wouldn't believe it from business's mouth. I'd have to watch it because business, Trini, and No Luck all go around. Yeah, they all go around saying they beat each other. I don't believe it. I think it's just dicks up. So I'd have to see it. Yep.
You know there's entire like
next.
Article, you know there's entire
next.
Okay, you're gonna do that. You're gonna spur on me. You know there's entire like article.
I'm just asking next.
That's not really next. I'm not done. If you're gonna spur me, go at it.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. This one. Current.
Okay. Give me a second.
Yo, it's low retarded. Oh, Jester getting punched on.
What are you doing? What'd you say, Jester?
Diego.
I'm literally trying, bro. I'm literally trying, Jonathan. I'm trying.
Bro.
I'm trying.
Add me.
What's your name, Pete?
Really hit those. Birds. Oppo has my fucking thing.
Type it in chat, you bitch ass.
I'm just gonna say,
what are you guys doing? Are you playing?
Oppo's not in.
Yeah,
oh no, he's in. I invited him. Oppo.
What are you playing on, Pete?
Okay, join. One of us, Oppo. Hurry up.
Oppo,
yeah, I'm back.
Oppo, join me.
So obvious when you spam the same thing.
If you're such a big fan of business emo, you would know that the reason why they got that good is from debating.
Do you know my reasoning for business's placement?
Because you talked
to him my reasoning for business's
to debate
placement?
against Aeroflame. Yes, I know.
Facts.
Exactly.
So if it's a personal gauge, how do you expect to debunk the personal gauge with a bunch of debates you can't even show me?
That's not even what's really happening. I'm not saying that your placement.
You're just telling me word of mouth.
I'm not saying that your placement of business emo is incorrect. I'm just saying that.
I'm not saying you're saying that.
Listen, if you think business emo is a credible source, or if you think business emo is a legit debater, the way he got that good was from consistent.
Legit debater and a credible source aren't the same thing.
Well, I mean, if you want to just
put
it like this, if you think he's a legit debater, the way he got so good was from debating Trini and No Luck so many times.
Okay, show me those debates, please.
Well, they're not all
Can you not?
We could.
Oh, you can't show me them? Oh, you know what that is? It's called a burden of proof, and you're failing.
Oh my god.
My evidence is from them.
Oh my.
We can actually
from them. But didn't I just tell you? Wait. I get that your evidence is from.
I know what you're saying.
I get that your evidence is from like their vouchers and all. But my problem is, what?
Okay.
Didn't I just tell you that I'm not gauging it off of any debates I've seen and that it's off a conversation I had with them?
If you can't use
Did I not say that?
If you can't use common sense, we're going to clarify it right here. Business.
Can you even objectively gauge common sense? Can you gauge common sense? Yes or no?
You can say that. I mean.
Say what?
You know why
you can't gauge common sense. Are you dropping that then? No, I don't. No, I don't. Everybody's common sense is dependent on their own cognitive ability. We all have different common sense.
Okay, so you don't.
So no, I don't know what you're talking about. So that's not common sense.
What do you think common sense is?
That's not. What's common sense? Common sense is just. I'm about to tell you what common sense is. It's just what you believe to be the case based on like cognitive experience.
It's just practical judgment.
It's not an axiom. It's common sense wouldn't apply to an axiom.
Wait, give me a sec. What's up? I won.
Facts.
Practical judgment is based on cognitive experience.
Oh my goodness, Oppo, you're retarded. Oh my god, what is practical judgment? Oppo, what is practical judgment?
I'm in here. Bro. Invite practical judgment?
Yes.
Invite Pete? I don't know. Define it.
So you're able to make judgments of being able to perceive something and like experience it, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. If you've never heard of math, if you've never heard of any of that, if you're just
give me your name, Pete.
You can't make those type of
it's not reliant on experience. Common sense is reliant on experience. That's the thing.
Okay.
That's why common sense varies with different people. Okay, so when you talk about 1 + 1 = 2,
why do you cut me off
that's not
mid-sentence?
common
Don't cut me off
sense.
mid-sentence.
It's
I told you it is common sense because if you're a baby, you never know that 1 + 1 = 2. If you're a baby, you never know 1 + 1 = 2. You use common sense to come to the conclusion that 1 + 1 = 2. That's perfectly okay.
That's absolutely not true.
Yes, it is.
A baby can absolutely come to the conclusion that 1 + 1 = 2. They just don't have to label. What do you mean? I'm gonna evidence it with reason.
Through what? Through experience?
What?
Through what? Experience?
Yeah, through experience.
So I'm right.
Sure.
That's what I said.
It could be through experience.
Baby, just conceded. So I'm right. So through common sense.
Look, no,
common sense, nigga. You're a retard. You're an idiot. You're actually a dumbass, nigga. What are you talking about?
Can I talk?
Nah.
Can I talk?
Go explain.
For something like a baby that has such low cognitive ability that they wouldn't be able to understand anything around them other than things based on experience, a fact can't be conflated with common sense necessarily.
I understand that is a fact. I understand.
A grown person. Wait. But the grown person, right? Like you or me, that actually has a developed cognitive ability, common sense and objective fact aren't necessarily.
What did I say? Common sense was. What did I say? Common sense was.
Practical judgment.
Okay, and practical judgment is what?
You don't require practical judgment to know 1 + 1 = 2 as somebody with developed cognitive ability. That's what I'm saying.
Well, this is what I'm saying. We know that 1 + 1 = 3 through our experience.
Yeah, but that's not why 1 + 1 = 2.
That's not my point. I'm saying that we know why 1 + 1 = 2 through our experience. Not that 1 + 1 isn't 2 objectively. I never disagreed with that. You just don't know what I'm arguing.
Okay. I'll agree with you there.
Okay. So.
But I still think that despite being able to come to determine what is fact and what isn't through like practical judgment, common sense is still like different from just being able to tell what 1 + 1 = 2 is.
I understand that how do I say? I understand that common sense could vary from person to person. The reason why I use the 1 + 1
That's all I was saying.
Yeah, the reason why I use the 1 + 1 example is that we have to, well, this might sound weird, but you know, with common sense, things that are just commonly accepted, we'd have to evaluate why these things are commonly accepted, and then we know through our experience as to why these things are commonly accepted, and then we come to these conclusions. That's why I use common sense as an example. And certain other more vague places where things are a bit more subjective, I understand where you can see the gray area could get drawn, but unironically, in certain
it can easily get drawn in terms of listen. The gray area in terms of common sense would definitely arise when you're talking about using common sense to evaluate a debater's skill.
Look, but I'll use this. We could use common sense. What do you think that you could use common sense to come to the conclusion that business email would slam the fuck out of Page? No, you couldn't.
No, I think I can make an argument for Page based on what I've seen from Page.
So you think you have... Okay, where's Page on your list?
I didn't place Page.
Okay, where would Page be on your list?
Tier 1.
Tier 1? Where's business email?
Yeah. Tier 0.
Okay. Why do you think business email is tier 0? Through your experience of interacting with him, right?
Yep, and it'd be the same thing with Page because everything that I've placed individually has been through my own experience.
Okay, so that's
mainly.
Fine. So
I incorporate some feeds, but most of them are through my own experience.
You used practical judgment to come to the conclusion that business email is better than Page. So you use common sense.
Practical No.
Yes, you literally use common sense.
I think you're conflating. I think once again.
Your mic is low. Your mic is low. I can't hear you. Your mic is low. Your mic is messed up.
Can you hear? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Jeff,
okay. Wait, give me a second before you continue.
I don't think that you can. I don't think you can reduce.
It's Zeph.
Wait, BB, that's not me. I'm not Honduran.
It's Zeph. It's Zeph.
I'm not Honduran.
Can you kick him? Can somebody just kick him?
I'm not kicking Jeff. Just chill. He's not gonna do it again.
Yo, and BB,
can you hear me?
Huddle highlights for me too, and we could play.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay. I think you're conflating like common sense with practical judgment too much. Like I see what you're saying, where you try and say, yeah. I think I'm gonna disagree with this again, because like now that I'm realizing what you're trying to get at, if that was the case, then every single determination that you can make would just water down to common sense.
Not necessarily, because I think things.
Everything that you obtain through your knowledge, I'm not done talking. Everything that you obtain through your knowledge would be through some type of practical judgment, as we both agreed already. So you're gonna say everything that we ever determine, like through our own knowledge or cognitive ability, is watered down to common sense?
Well,
That doesn't make sense.
Ready. You believe that common sense could be subjective, right?
Yeah.
So everybody has their own common sense, right?
Then if everybody has their own common sense, then there is no common sense.
That's
common sense is meant in a universal term.
No.
Common sense.
No.
Common sense.
No, common sense is practical judgment, and practical judgment has to do with
I don't think common sense can be defined as practical judgment. That's too all-encompassing. It's too all-encompassing. I disagree with the definition.
You disagree with the definition?
I disagree with the definition.
How do you think we come to some type of I just explained to you earlier how we come to some type of common sense, and it's
I told you, I think it's like nature versus. I think it's like a nature versus nurture debate in terms of common sense, and common sense is like a nature factor.
You think it's
if you know what I'm trying to say?
You think it's an instinctive thing?
It's not necessarily instinctive. It's just what's taught to you through your environment as you're developing your cognitive ability.
Listen. If common sense is what's taught to you, right? I understand that a lot of people are taught different things. That's perfectly okay. So what I'm saying is that people have these type of different experiences and come to these conclusions through these experiences, and that's what their common sense is. That's perfectly okay. What I'm saying is that because you're using your type of skills of deduction, right, to come to the conclusion that this guy is better than Paige from having these conversations with him, yes, you're using common sense, practical judgment, you're using your experience to come to this
common
conclusion.
Sense. You could call it practical judgment.
Practical judgment is
common sense isn't even defined as practical judgment. It's defined as sound judgment, not based on specialized knowledge.
That's the same thing. It's knowledge through experience. That's fine.
Sound judgment, not based on specialized knowledge. You understand that when I'm talking about why I think business would beat Paige, or why I think Paige would beat business, I'm using specialized knowledge, right?
Okay,
my specialized knowledge being my specific experiences with one or the other. You understand that, right?
Okay. Give me a second. What do you define as specialized knowledge?
So specialized knowledge. What do you mean? You don't know what specialized means?
In that context, no, I don't know how they're using it. So go ahead.
What context could specialized be used? I'm just gonna get the definition of specialized for you.
Go ahead.
Specialized, requiring or having like detailed training or expertise in a particular field, presenting detailed information used in a particular field, or designed for a specific purpose or use. I think definition 2 is probably the best here.
I don't think you're using
presenting detailed information used in a particular field.
Post it, yeah.
I'm gonna post the definition that I think I'm appealing to.
Yeah, I don't think you're using anything necessarily extremely detailed. You're just having a comment like
I do.
Actual.
I do. It's not common sense necessarily.
That's not what I meant to say. That's not what I meant to say. That's not what I meant to say. Wait, I misspoke. That's not what I meant to say.
Right? My pages for business email have different categories of which each one of them, like, you know.
I'm trying to respond to you.
I'm listening.
Yes,
I'm listening.
I'm responding. You can stop saying that. All I'm trying to explain.
Well, you kept saying.
Okay, you're gonna keep interrupting me, or we're gonna talk? Are you gonna keep? You want to keep being a spurg, or we're gonna talk? You keep being a spurg. I'm trying to talk.
And then you were repeating things.
You literally said, "Okay, you could go." You said, "Okay, you could go." Before I could even say, "You want to spurg out?" Like, you just want to spurg out. You said, "Okay, you could go," and you kind of interrupt me. So then shut up. Then shut up. Then shut up. Then you could be quiet. No, you're gonna be talking. You said you're gonna be.
I'm gonna talk.
Okay, then shut up. Yeah, all I'm trying to say is that you having a you having a conversation with somebody doesn't really give you any like real in-depth specialized knowledge of something about debating skill and criteria.
I do. I think it does.
Okay. What was your
conversation? Especially in the context in which me and business email were talking. We literally like ran mocks on abortion. And I was and from that I was able to gauge different factors of his like debating techniques, such as like rhetoric, argumentation, adaptability, things like that.
Okay,
which would all fall under detailed specialized knowledge. Yes, we did go in depth. And if you need a vouch for that, you can ask.
Okay, so that's different from having a conversation with him.
Not necessarily.
Because I thought you were on.
What do you think the definition of conversation is? What do you think the definition? It's literally just an exchange of ideas, is it not?
I mean, not necessarily.
No. Definition of conversation: the exchange of thoughts and feelings by means of speech or sign language. Come on, Jester. Come on.
Hell no.
I mean, not necessarily all the time. The way that you're using it, in the way that you're using it, no, not really.
I think that any debate could be watered down to conversation, and you trying to attack me for using the word conversation is just very semantical.
Well, no, you could just be having like a very how do I say, broad approach or broad talk about debating without getting really in depth into it.
A broad approach? What?
Do you not know?
Any form of debating can be watered down to a form of conversation.
That's not.
So
that's
me
not
saying that I had a
saying.
conversation with business, I can say that you and I had a conversation.
That's not attacking.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
I said
what are you trying to say?
Conversations could be really vague and broad about debating and not really go in depth into the features of it. I didn't know that you went.
So that's your fault for not trying to. That's your fault for not trying to get more detail on the conversation and jumping to the conclusion.
I'm just debating. Look, I'm just talking to you off what you gave me. Okay, look. Now that we move on, look, you see how we moved on. You see how we move on. You said you had a conversation. All that you said is that you had a conversation. That's all you said. That's all you said.
I agree. That's all I said.
Okay,
that's all I said, right? I agree.
So you can move on. So
listen to me. I'm gonna tell you your problem here. You're the one that committed the fallacy here.
I didn't commit any fallacy. You just agreed.
You jumped to the conclusion. You jumped to the conclusion that by conversation, I meant a very simple discussion of thoughts, when conversation can encompass any form of debate or exchange of thoughts or ideas. That's your fault. Don't try and pin that on me because of my stance.
Because, well, what's the first thing that popped into your mind when you say conversation?
An exchange of thoughts or ideas.
Okay.
As I said already.
Is an exchange of thoughts and ideas
always have to be debated? A debate can fall under that.
Okay, it can, but it doesn't have to either, right?
No. Listen, an exchange of thoughts or ideas doesn't always have to be debate based, but a debate always has to be based. A debate always has to be based in the exchange of thoughts or ideas. So you assuming that I had a simple conversation with business email?
You could have, yes.
No, I'm trying to explain to you.
You definitely could have.
I'm trying to explain to you why you made the mistake in doing what you did.
I don't think I made any mistake.
If you assuming the fact that I had a simple conversation with business email after me saying I had a conversation with business email was a misinterpretation on your part.
That's definitely not
added an adjective.
The way that you implied it is that way.
You added an adjective there.
You 100%.
You added an adjective there. Simple that I did not include there.
You 100%.
I don't think I did at all because you
elaborated after you went really in depth into the features of debating until after, so it doesn't really matter. Wait. What are you talking about?
Let me speak. You even included in your own prior knowledge on the topic that business email had been amping me for a debate with Aeroflame that I was supposed to have. If he's had been amping me on a debate topic, that's much more in depth than a simple conversation with no substance that couldn't be used to gauge anything. Once again, your fault.
First off, that's where you're getting confused. There could be two different instances. I know that you've talked.
I'm not confused, Jester. You're confused.
I'm not confused. I'm definitely not confused.
You didn't even know what conversation meant. You're the most confused person here.
No, not at all. I do know what conversation means. I mean, if you want to keep interrupting me, I want to talk to you. You want to debate? You want to talk? Because you can't even have a conversation with me right now. You're just having a sprig off the perks. That's perfectly fine. Do you want to have a conversation? You want to keep interrupting me? Do you want to have? You want to be a sprig?
Your mistakes and you.
You're literally on drugs right now.
I'm correcting you.
Fine. No, I don't think I made a mistake. I'm trying to respond to you.
I'm trying to respond to you. But you keep confused.
You want to keep interrupting me.
When you said I'm confused, you made a mistake.
You just don't want to engage. You want to engage.
When you say that I'm confused, you're not letting me respond. You made a mistake. I am engaging.
You're not engaging.
You just don't interrupt me. I'm engaging.
You're not engaging me. You're not engaging me because you're not letting me talk. You're just not letting me talk. You're just gonna keep talking and rambling. You're just not gonna engage me. You don't want to engage.
You don't know what engagement means?
Yes. You're compromising dialectics. You're not engaging me. You're not engaging me.
Compromising.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're not even letting me respond. You're just interrupting me. You're just gonna keep interrupting me. You don't want to engage me. You don't want me to respond. You don't want to engage me. You don't want. I mean, you could complain all you want. You could just keep interrupting me. You just don't want to engage.
Shut up. I'll define engage for you.
Go ahead.
I'll define engage for you.
Go ahead.
The definition of engage is to obtain or contract for the services of / employ.
This is literally just irrelevant.
To arrange for the use of.
You understand? Do you understand?
Is this irrelevant? I don't think it's irrelevant that you miscommunicate my state of mind.
No. Oppo, if you want to get direct with it, I tried responding to something
you
said.
You miscommunicate my state of mind.
You rambling, right, and didn't allow me to engage, and you're just compromising dialectics.
You miscommunicate my state of mind, and you expect me not to correct you.
No.
You understand that, right? You call me confused. You call me confused.
You're literally just rambling and not letting me talk. Yes, I think you are confused.
You call me confused, Jester.
Rambling and not letting me talk back. You're not letting me respond to points. You're like completely ruining the entire discussion. You're completely. You're talking about conversation, but you're completely ruining it.
Ruin the conversation. Ruin the discussion.
You're ruining the discussion.
I think I'm improving the discussion.
No, you're not.
I think I'm improving the discussion.
You want to go on like loopholes of subpoints, but you don't want to respond to the direct point. We can stay on the main topic. You're derailing. You know that, right? Like we don't have to talk about the definition of engage.
Let's stop talking over each other.
We can do that.
Okay. Listen to me.
So let's go back.
When you miscommunicate, it's not relevant. I don't think it's relevant.
Can we just hop back on the main point that I was trying to respond to? We do not have to be here.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready to discuss the debate?
You can No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not ready to abandon your miscommunication of my thoughts.
No, I don't think it's really relevant to the entire main topic.
Did you not call me confused? Did you or did you not call me confused? If it's not,
If
it's not relevant, drop it.
You were
If it's not relevant, drop
There's not
it.
a point we need to drop.
If it's not relevant, drop
There's not
it.
a point we need to drop.
It is a point we need to drop.
Well, I'm saying I think you are confused.
Well,
I mean, I think you are confused because you just didn't allow me to engage you. You just kept interrupting me and over talking me.
How is that a metric for confusion?
You want me to explain
A disallowance of engagement?
What's confusion?
Yes,
what's confusion?
please.
What's confusion?
You define it. It's the burden's on you. Nice try to flip the burden. Nice try. It didn't work though.
I was just
Sorry.
asking you a question. I asked you the question.
It's a
first.
question you need to answer. You're the one that called me confused. You're the one that's trying to define a metric of confusion, and you ask me to define confusion.
And that's what I'm
that doesn't
asking.
make
What
sense,
do you think
Jester.
confusion is?
It's your burden, Jester. You
That's
tell
not
me
really
what
my
confusion
burden.
is. It is your burden.
No.
When you
exactly
call
how
me
is that my
confused
burden?
and you try, listen, when you call me confused and you try and apply some metric of confusion to me, and then you ask me what confused means after asserting that I'm confused,
Well, I'm trying to
you're
come to some
flipping
type
the
of-
burden on
No,
me
it's
to
not
define
it's not even
confusion.
a burden that needs to be put.
Absolutely.
You're just trying
I
to put
don't know
it.
what confusion
Look,
means
look.
how you said it. I don't know how it means how you said it. I don't
You can't
know.
come to some type
You
of
could've-
like
you could've-
common
you could've- nope.
agreement to what confusion
Listen.
is.
When you said confusion,
Not
you could have
knowing
meant that I'm the
something.
first
Not
man
knowing
on
something.
Mars.
Not knowing something.
Not knowing something?
Yes, not
There
knowing
you go.
something.
Okay, so how is disallowing somebody to engage a method or a metric of not knowing?
Because you don't know how to hold a conversation. That's what that means.
How is that a method of confusion?
That
I don't
you
know how to
not
hold a
knowing something,
conversation?
Yes, you not knowing something. You
But
agreed.
we're holding a
yes.
conversation right now, so that's contradictory.
Not necessarily, because you can't hold
Yes,
up
we
the
are.
conversation. You're ruining it. That's
We're
why I said
holding
you
the
compromise
conversation right now.
dialectics.
How am I ruining it? Wait,
Well,
do you understand
we're
how
derailed.
Hegelian
We're
dialectics
derailed, so
work?
we're really not. We're off the main topic, so we're
If you
derailed.
actually look at
We're
Hegelian
derailed.
dialectics
We
in the sense of
literally
trying to... We haven't derailed.
Wait, give me
If
a
you
sec,
look at
somebody's knocking on
Hegelian
my door. Wait, stop
dialectics...
talking. Give me a second. Somebody's knocking on my door.
This is
Wow.
crazy.
Got slammed
This
for
is
a third
embarrassing.
time.
Yeah, he did. Or Hina.
Yo, what's good, people?
Can you record this, BB?
Nah, I want you guys
My
to-
op see me and they know to run. My Glock golden gun.
We could do a real topic like later, but
Why you
I don't
trying
think
to
this
be-
is retarded.
You ain't even own a gun.
I don't know. He's just falling for the usual traps.
And BB is gonna keep dick sucking another dude virtually for absolutely no reason. You're a one-star
Hey, it's
recruit.
not dick sucking
Like,
if
this
it's
dude
true, you shitty ass wrestler.
Okay.
It's
Bitch.
literally not true.
Don't make me drop it.
You're
Let's
the
read
only
the
person
quotes.
deriding him in
Back.
chat.
Just
Go
It's
Hogs.
literally you.
Go
You're
Hogs.
the only person deriding.
Jester,
Go
we're talking.
Mandarins.
Jester,
Go
we're talking.
Mandarins.
Go
Jester, we're
Hawks.
talking.
Go
Jester,
Mandarins.
Go Red Hawks.
Jester, you
Go
leave.
Red
Go
Hawks.
Mandarins.
Jester.
Just mute him.
Jester,
We
you
can continue.
keep
Just
talking,
mute him. We
Jester.
can continue. Mute him. We can continue. Yeah, just mute up.
Mute
What I'm
up,
saying is
BB.
that
Okay.
you
Okay, look, what
horribly
I'm trying to
derailed the
say is-
conversation.
Wait, I was talking left. I was talking first. What I was trying to say before you left was, in the sense of like Hegelian dialectic and attempting to achieve a proper synthesis.
Okay.
You realize subpoints such as
love
a
it.
miss. Wait, I'm not done. I'm not
Pull up
done.
the
I'm not
Hegelian
done.
dialectic. Pull up
Subpoints.
the Hegelian
Points.
dialectic.
Can you just let me talk, please? You're doing exactly what you were crying about me doing.
No, not
Fucking
necessarily.
hypocrite.
Not necessarily.
You're being
Because
hypocrite.
You're still
You're
trying
not
to
letting me
derail.
speak.
You're still trying to derail.
You're not
and
letting me
using-
speak.
You're still trying to derail, and you're using.
I'm not
Hegelian-
trying.
Yes,
I'm
you
trying to
are.
address
Yes,
you
are.
calling me a
You're using.
compromiser of
You're using
dialectics.
Hegelian dialectics.
Please
We
let
have
me
to
speak,
achieve some type of
Jester.
synthesis, right? We
Jester,
will never
please let
achieve
me
the
speak.
synthesis if we can never continue the main topic. So you and yourself
That's, you
have compromised the
understand.
dialectic.
You understand that in Hegelian dialectics, there's an infinite amount of theses and antitheses that you have to work through in order to get to the synthesis. And in a case of misrepresenting or
Yeah, I don't think we're
miscommunicating
gonna reach
somebody's
a synthesis
mind,
in the way
that would
that
actually be a sub antithesis that would have to be addressed in order to achieve
you're
the
misconstruing
actual
it. Pull up the way
synthesis.
Hegelian dialectics works. I think you're misconstruing it completely.
You know how it works.
Pull it up.
Thesis to and
Just pull
thesis
up
to
the pen.
antithesis to
Mhm.
antithesis ad infinitum until you reach synthesis.
Go pull it
So
up.
when you
Can go pull it- can you pull
miscommunicate
it up?
that
Can
I'm
you pull it up?
confused,
Can you pull it up before we continue
when
the
you
conversation?
miscommunicate
Can
that
you
I'm
pull it up before we
confused,
continue the conversation? Can
that
you
would be an antithesis.
Can you go pull
No,
up?
I can't.
need the.
I explained it to you
just
fine.
don't feel like I'll
Do you
pull up the- I'll
disagree
pull up
with
the
how I
diagram.
explained it?
I'll pull up the diagram.
Do you disagree with
I'll
how I
pull up the
explained it?
diagram.
Do you disagree?
I'll pull up the
Do you
diagram.
disagree with how I
I'll pull up the
explained it?
diagram. I'll pull the
Do you disagree with how I explained it?
I don't know if that's specifically the case, if the way you're explaining it is true, which is why I'm trying to see some type of, talk about it online. So just give me a second.
The funniest thing
'cause
is you should never have actually
what I'm
fucking
saying-
wait.
what I'm saying
The
is that
funniest thing you
Hegel-
should never have applied Hegelian dialectics for the reason that Hegelian dialectics is
Whoa,
encompassing of subpoints. I mean, this was so stupid
I don't
of
really
you.
think so. I don't really think so.
I absolutely think so.
No.
When we're talking about
diagram.
when we're talking about whether or not, you know, business is better than Page, and you suggest that I'm confused in the head,
Yeah.
that in and of itself can be interpreted as a defeater. You understand that, right?
No, not necessarily. It's just
Given
me
your
throwing banter.
definition, well, your definition of confused is not knowing. Your definition of confused is not knowing.
No,
right?
no,
So if
no,
you
no,
call me
no, no,
confused,
no, 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 no. Oppo, you're ratting. Oppo, you're ratting. Oppo, you're ratting.
that.
Ratting. When I said that you
I'm
were
not
confused,
ratting.
when I said
You
that,
tried
listen to me,
ratting,
listen
and
to me,
you're
listen to me,
failing miserably.
listen to me, listen
That's
to
what
me.
happened,
Well, nobody,
Jester.
I did not try ratting. Listen to me. When I said
Yeah,
that you
you
were
did.
confused, when I said that you were
Compromise
confused,
of
when I said
dialectics is
that, listen,
embarrassingly failing
Oppo,
for
you want
you.
to keep spurging, bro. Listen, when I said that you were
I'm not
confused,
spurging.
okay, you're gonna let me talk? Are you gonna let me talk? When I
That's
said that
ironic.
you were confused, it was not in reference to
Do
you
you
being
wanna
confused
talk now?
about the placement. It was you being confused about how to hold up a conversation because you kept
Do you
interrupting
know what
me.
you just did?
Is
Do you
this
know what
thing
you just
dumb?
did?
I have it on recording. Are you stupid?
Wait, do you know what you just did? Do you know what you just did? You helped clear up one of the antitheses by clearing up what you meant by confusion. So now let's
This dude
talk
is
about
dumb.
why I'm confused and holding up a conversation.
Are you serious right now?
Let's talk about that. If I'm confused in being able to hold a conversation, how can we ever
were
achieve
just
our
talking
synthesis?
about
Right?
that
So I
earlier.
think it's something that should
Look.
absolutely be addressing. No?
Here's my
Yes
problem.
or no?
Here's my problem. If you're
If
gonna
you
say,
say
if
that
you
I
want,
have if you say that I have
Okay.
a lack of knowledge in being able to
Hegelian-
hold a conversation,
Oppo, Hegelian
and I just let
dialectics-
that fly,
okay.
can you not say that
Okay,
that's
okay,
an
okay.
indirect concession on my
No,
part and that I
Oppo,
can't
Oppo,
hold a
Oppo, listen to this.
conversation
Oppo, listen
in
to this.
regards to what we're talking
listen
about
to
or
this.
regards to anything at all?
Oppo, listen to this. Hegelian dialectics has to reach a synthesis, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, what happens if you can never reach that synthesis?
We can reach a synthesis. I don't see why we
I'm
can't reach a
saying- I'm
synthesis.
saying
You think that
if
I can?
we-
You
if we
think that I
go
can
on-
conceive of infinite
No.
points?
No,
You think
what
I
I'm
can
saying-
conceive
what I'm
of
saying, you
infinite
think-
subpoints?
You think
Can you prove that?
under?
Can you prove
That's
that?
not what I said. I never
Can you
asserted
prove
any
the
of
human
that.
mind is
I
even
never asserted any of that.
capable of
I
going
never
at
asserted
it?
any of that. I never asserted any of that. That's
The
not my
only
burden.
reason- the only
I
reason
never
we
asserted
wouldn't-
any
the
of
only
that. I never
reason-
asserted any of that. I
Okay,
never
okay.
asserted any of
Let me-
that. So
allow me
stop
to
saying that. I
clarify.
never
Allow me to
asserted.
clarify.
I
Allow me
never
to
asserted
clarify.
or implied
The
any of
only
that. I
way-
never asserted or implied
I'm
any of
gonna
that.
tell
I'd
you
like to
why you
respond.
did imply that,
No,
Jester.
I did not at all.
I'm gonna
You
tell
just
you
said,
you
you
did
just started
imply
saying
that.
a bunch of
I
nonsense and
said
random shit.
something.
Just a bunch of
I said
bullshit.
something you said that I
You just
didn't
made a
assert
bunch
it.
of
So let me
shit
tell
up.
you why you
You're just a
asserted it.
baby.
I didn't.
You just made a bunch
So
of
the
shit
only
up.
way that we would never be able to come to a synthesis is if we went ad infinitum on antithesis.
I just asked
you understand that,
what,
right?
Okay, Oppo, what did
So
I
you'd
ask
be
you?
able to quantify, even if there was 100,000,
I asked you.
even if there was
Oppo, you're
100,000
going off of-
antitheses,
you're going on a rant.
you would be able to quantify
This is irrelevant.
some
You're going on
endpoint
an
and some
irrelevant
synthesis.
rant. This is a bunch
It's
of
not
horseshit.
irrelevant.
This is
You
horseshit.
can't call
I never
everything that I
brought
tried to
up-
talk to you about
I never
irrelevant. That's
brought
not
any
working.
of that. All I did
It's
was
not
ask you a
working.
question. It's literally on recording, you dumbass nigga.
You
All
said
I asked
if
you
we
was that-
can't come to a synthesis.
That's not what I said.
You said if we can't
That's
come to a
not what I
synthesis.
said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Jester, did
All
you
I
not
did
bring
was
up not being able to come to a
wallahi,
synthesis? Did you not
wallahi,
bring that up? You
wallahi.
don't even
This is all I
believe
said.
in
Let me
Allah.
talk to you. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. All I said was that, do you think that Hegelian dialectics has to come to a synthesis? And you just went on a ramble. That's all I asked you.
Yes, and then you said, what do you think? No, and then you said, what do you think happens when you can't reach a synthesis? The
Okay,
only
but
way
let
we
me- I
couldn't
didn't
reach a
even get to
synthesis.
finish.
I said, there you go, Jester. The only way we wouldn't be able to reach a
never let me
synthesis is if we
finish.
went
You
ad
never let me
infinitum
finish.
on antitheses. Like I
Listen,
said,
Oppo.
if there were
Oppo,
100,000
Oppo.
antitheses, the endpoint of the synthesis would still be calculable. We would still be
this is
able
what
to
I'm
come to a
saying.
synthesis.
You're not even
It's
understanding
your
what I'm saying. We
fault,
have to state
buddy.
if the
It's your
main
fault,
topic.
buddy.
If we
You're
keep
lost in the sauce again, Jester.
No, we're not lost in the sauce. You
again,
keep trying to
Jester.
interrupt me and being a spurg. That's all you're doing. You're not even understanding what I'm saying. You're not even
No,
listening to
I'll write
me.
this out for
You're
you.
making
Be
points.
a
You're
visual
arguing with
learner.
yourself.
Be a visual
You're
learner.
making points with yourself.
Maybe you're a
and you're
visual
arguing
learner.
with yourself like a
Maybe you're a
schizophrenic.
visual
This
learner.
dude is
Maybe you're a
insane.
visual learner. Maybe you're a visual learner. What
I think you have to be.
happens
I think you have to
when
be a
we
visual learner.
can't reach a synthesis?
You know that you were
This is your
perfectly
question.
fine. You know that you
Is
were
it not?
perfectly fine
Can you
with the idea.
offer to me?
Oppo,
Can
do you
you
know
offer
that
to
you
me?
were perfectly fine with the
Offer to me?
idea of going on
Can you
infinite
offer to me
subpoints?
another possibility
Okay.
in which a synthesis?
Okay.
Can you offer
Oppo,
to me? Can you
Oppo,
offer to me an
Oppo,
idea in
Oppo, what's
which
your-
a synthesis can't be
Oppo,
reached
under
where we
your-
don't go on ad
Oppo,
infinitum?
literally under your own definition of Hegelian dialectics entailing infinite subpoints, and now you're saying that
Until we reach a synthesis. Until we reach a synthesis.
But
And
how we
in
ever
my
reach a
in my
synthesis
in my
with
understanding of
infinite subpoints?
infinity,
How could you reach a synthesis? That's a
listen,
contradiction.
listen.
That's literally a
Because
contradiction.
it wouldn't be
That's a
actually infinite.
contradiction.
It wouldn't be actually infinite. The way
Never
that I
ending.
presented it, the way that I presented it, listen, the way that I presented it for infinity, ad
infinite.
infinitum, what I meant was I said ad infinitum. What I meant was that we would just have to keep going and going and going until a synthesis is reached. I don't think that it's possible for us to to conceive an infinite amount of antitheses, and I think that's pretty implied through the brain's capabilities. But if you're stupid,
I never agreed with that either. I never agreed with that either. Which is why I'm saying you could derail. you could derail and go off stuff that's irrelevant. I'm saying that you
there
can't
is
just
no
keep,
derailment
I'm saying,
in
okay, this is
Hegelian
what I'm saying.
dialectics.
This is what I'm
There
saying.
is
This
no
is what I'm saying.
derailment
This is what
in
I'm saying.
Hegelian
There are
dialectics.
derailments
The
because all you're trying
antithesis
to
is
explain.
relevant.
Listen. All you're trying to explain is that, oh, we could go on these sub points, but since there are not an infinite amount of antitheses, like you says, you could derail. There are things that are irrelevant, and there are things that do
Yeah, but I'm not
have to do
derailing.
with the main top. I think you are derailing.
But
That's
I'm
the
not
whole point that I
derailing.
brought up. That's the point I'm trying to get
Irrelevant
into. You are
points aren't
derailing.
antitheses.
You are
Irrelevant
derailing.
points aren't
You're
antitheses.
trying to get into the
Irrelevant points aren't antitheses.
This is what I'm
Irrelevant
trying
points
to-
are not
then What was
antitheses.
the point of you bringing that up?
Because me not being able to hold a conversation or not knowing how to hold a conversation would be detrimental and could be used as a win con for you. That's why I
No,
contended
not
it.
necessarily.
Because it was a relevant antithesis. Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
It was just
If I
me
can't hold a
telling- it was just
conversation
me
with
trying
you,
to explain to
if
you
I
that I'd like to get back on the main
conversation with
topic.
you. Wait. Okay, if I
I was
can't hold
not
a
using it as a
conversation with you,
defeater.
Jester, you're
You're
talking
taking
over
it
me
too
again.
literally.
If I
Well, you've been talking over me
if
the whole
I
time. So I
can't-
do not give a fuck, bro. all I'm trying to
All
explain
right,
to you.
can we
all
talk
I'm
civilly?
trying-
Can we
well,
talk civilly?
I don't really want to anymore.
You haven't given me a chance to talk civilly. This
You
entire
have been
time.
doing the same thing, so I cannot give you charity. No.
Okay, so how about we be civil?
Bro,
Now listen to
you're
me.
just gonna do the same
Jester.
shit. Okay, so
Jester.
okay. I'm gonna let you
Jester.
talk.
Just
I'm
let me
gonna
speak.
let you
Just let
talk.
me
Okay,
speak.
okay. I'm gonna let you talk, and I'm gonna
Speak
respond
civil.
to exactly to what you say. You cannot interrupt me. That's fine with you.
Okay,
ahead, talk.
Jester. Yes, that's fine with me. If you assert that I am not knowing in the sense of holding up a conversation, you could use that as a win con for yourself and say that we would never be able to reach a synthesis on how I'm continuing in our conversation. So of course I would have to address your statement of confusion when misrepresenting my state of mind, which is why I introduced the sub-point about why I'm not the one that's confused.
Okay, ready? I'm not using it as a defeater to your argument. You're saying could. I don't give a fuck about could. All I'm saying is that I like to get back to the main topic. I'm saying you're derailing. I'm not using it as a defeater. I'm using it as a way to get back on the right track on the point that we were on previous. It's on recording. That's all I'm trying to get to, and you're going on a ramble.
Okay. So you calling me confused is an attempt for us to try and get back on the main topic.
Yes.
Okay, so then this whole thing here is a synthesis in and of itself, in which we resolved the fact that confusion can't be used against me. That's fine.
No,
I
that's
feel
not
like I
even
need to clarify
true.
that
Are you
against you because
serious?
you're. Yeah, that's exactly what you just said. You just said that you can't use that confusion thing as some type of win con or anything.
I never said you couldn't. I'm saying that I'm not in this sense, and you going on a tangent about how it is completely misrepresenting from reality. So what you were saying is completely irrelevant. You just conceded.
It's not misrepresenting from reality. It's not misrepresenting. No, I didn't. It's not misrepresenting from reality if it's a realistic possibility. That's not misrepresenting at all. It's called It's called you not presenting. You're talking over me. You're talking over me.
Finish.
You're talking over me.
This guy is crazily dumb.
Listen. I'm crazy dumb. You didn't know what conversation meant.
You fucking faggot. Yes, you talking about possibility when I told you what I actually did, dumbass nigga. What are you talking about? You talk about conversation, you can't even hold one. What are you talking about, you dumbass bitch? You're on the perk right now. Okay, dumbass nigga. You just conceded that what you're saying is irrelevant. You just conceded what you're saying is irrelevant. You literally conceded that what you're saying is irrelevant. You've come to a synthesis that you've misrepresented what I've said. I understand that you could. I understand, Oppo, that it could be used as a defeater. I told you that I'm not using it as a defeater. I told you that I'm not using it as a defeater. I told you that I'm not, and I wasn't. I told you that I'm not, and I wasn't. But I've been trying to. I've been set it. I've been set it, and you just refused. You just used debacle. You don't sound smart. Like, you're the one that's been trying to, but you've already dropped like 2 points.
Absolutely not. We finally got to the point where I wanted to get, which is you acknowledging that you can't use this confusion thing against me in the sense of a win con. That's all I was trying to get at. You conceded. Please stop being retarded.
I'm not the one that conceded. I've never was in the first place. There's not a point of mine that I made you drop.
Please
you sound dumb.
Retarded.
You sound so dumb.
The fact that
you sound so dumb. You sound so dumb. I never was using it as a defeater. I never made the point that I could use it as a defeater. You made it up yourself. You've been arguing with yourself. Do you understand that you've been arguing with yourself? You've been talking to a brick wall. You know you've been talking to a brick wall. You've been arguing with yourself. I never brought up that point. I never made that point in the first place.
Tell me when you're done.
I'm not done. I'm not done. You have.
You're not done on
I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep talking. You're not gonna interrupt me. I'm gonna keep talking the same way that you ramble on. It's not ignorance. It's not ignorance because you ramble on the same type of way. Definitely not.
It's absolutely ignorance. Absolutely.
Definitely not.
Absolutely.
It's definitely not. I mean, you can keep believing this.
The fact that you can't. The fact that you can't
You just made up
acknowledge
your
the
own
fact that
You've argued.
I
of
didn't
points
make up
nobody
my own
made.
points.
You argued of
The
points
reason that
instead of
we
conceding
were
points
going
nobody
down
made.
this,
You know that,
listen,
right?
the thesis
Nobody
here,
made those points.
the thesis here on this sub point was that I was confused, right? My antithesis was, what do you mean by confused? In the sense that I thought it could be possibly used, right, as a defeater. And then once we got past my antithesis, we came to the synthesis. There is no stopping it.
I stopped you right there.
There is no stopping
You're
it.
saying there is no antithesis in the first place.
I'm trying to come to.
There was
I
no
was
antithesis
trying to come
in
to
the
the synthesis
first
of
place.
what you meant by confusion this whole
There was no
time.
antithesis.
As long
in
as
the
I was
first
making
place,
sure
Oppo.
that you
can
can't
that
use
there was no
confusion
antithesis
as a
in the first place.
defeater.
You're just repeating yourself.
You lost this point.
Oppo.
You're
There was no
the confusion point as a defeater.
There was no antithesis. I never said it was a defeater.
I gave
told
the
you I wanted to
antithesis.
get back to the point. You gave your. That's what I'm saying.
You
You're
called me
arguing with
confused and I
yourself.
attacked immediately.
You're
You called it
arguing with yourself.
confused.
You gave your own
immediately.
antithesis to your own thesis. You're retarded as fuck.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
retarded
May I
as fuck.
please?
You gave your
Okay.
own.
Can I speak now?
You gave an antithesis to your own thesis. Do you realize what you just said?
I didn't give an antithesis to my own thesis.
You
The
just said
thesis
that on
was that I was
recording.
confused.
Well, lie, you said that.
No, it's not. I said the thesis was that I was confused, which is something that you presented. That's your thesis. My
This dude
antithesis
is
was
sick.
I'm not confused, or my antithesis actually was to this whole thing that confusion could be used as a defeater, and that's my reason for attacking the thesis
Okay,
that I am confused.
You're saying in that
Now that
antithesis,
we've
the existence.
your antithesis
Listen.
You're
Oppo.
talking over me.
The existence
You're talking
of
over
that
me.
antithesis is based
You're
on the
talking over
possibility.
me.
I do not care. The existence of that antithesis
Okay,
is
blah
based.
blah 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 blah
Okay, you
blah
can do
blah
that.
blah
The existence of that. Look, that's fine.
blah, 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 blah,
And
blah.
then BB's gonna try to loud mic me too. Like, it's just dumb as fuck. Like, you sound stupid, bro.
It's not
You sound
fun, is it?
retarded. I mean, it's not blah blah blah. You've been doing that the whole debate, and now you're getting mad and butthurt like a little girl. Like I'm doing it to you now.
I'm not getting mad
You
or
want to get super
butthurt.
aggressive and
Jester,
assertive, and you're getting butthurt now.
Jester,
All I'm
it's
saying
kind
is
of
that
sad that you can't realize that the thesis in this sense was you literally saying I was confused. The antithesis was what I presented. Confusion could be used as a defeater. Hence, my attack
of the
of the
antithesis is
thesis.
based on the possibility
Confusion
of me
being
using that as
possibly-
a defeater, which was not the case. It's not true. I never did. Do you understand me?
That's fine. Listen, that's fine. But the possibility, the fact that you even accept the possibility that it could be used as a
It
defeater
is
shows that it wasn't
you
an
serious?
irrelevant thesis.
Are you serious?
You understand that, right? You understand that, right?
That's not the point I was making at all. Okay, what was my whole point?
Possibility-
Of confusion?
listen.
What was I using confusion in the
Hold
context
on.
of? What was I using confusion in the
Hold on.
context of?
You were trying to say that I wasn't able to hold a conversation.
Okay, in the context of what? To do what?
I don't know. I stopped you
To
as
go
soon as
back
you
to the
said
main
confused.
point. You literally agreed with me. Okay, to go back to the main point, so we've come to some type of synthesis.
No, I haven't said that yet.
Yeah,
I haven't
I'm
said that
recording.
yet
I
because you
promise
keep
you
trying
said
to.
that.
You
I
keep
promise
trying.
you
You
said
keep
that.
trying to give a false concession. You keep trying to falsify concession
No,
here.
you're the one that's been trying to falsify the concession. You actually dropped the point. You sound dumb.
If you could both give reason
You're
as
cutting
to
out. You're cutting
bro,
out.
this
think
shit
that
is
the
so
other one
annoying.
of us.
You're cutting out.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's 3 in the morning. It's 3 in the
Still?
morning. Oppo.
Still?
Yeah, you're cutting out. It's 3. Look, Oppo. I'm gonna keep it a buck with
Am
you.
I still?
Yeah, you are cutting out. Your internet's
If you
horrible.
like, wait. Hold on.
You niggas are gay, bro.
Hello.
Yeah, you're better now.
Okay. If you want, we could both like give a conclusion type of thing
Yeah,
on
okay.
why either of us think that the other one succeeded. Wait, and we could have like Ace give opinion or something.
Okay, that's fine. Let's give a conclusion.
Are you fine with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I think that you conceded, right? Or because the thesis initially presented was, as I said, Oppo was confused, right? This is my antithesis as to why this is even a relevant point to attack is that confusion in the sense of not being able to hold a conversation can possibly be used as a win con, which requires clarity in order for me not to catch an L in this debate, right? So my entire point here was trying to get the clarity as to what you meant by confusion. You've been trying to argue this whole time, like avoiding what you meant by confusion, just rambling on with semantics, when all I was trying to do was get to the synthesis that, confusion in this sense cannot be used as a win con. We both agreed at the end of this that confusion cannot be used as a win con. What happens when somebody presents a thesis and somebody else presents an antithesis and they reach a synthesis that the antithesis initially presented? The person that presented the antithesis is the person that did not concede. That's what that means. So Jester, you conceded on this entire point by accepting the fact that, the confusion thing can possibly be used as a win con and therefore is relevant.
Okay.
Right? Because our whole dispute here is whether or not this point is relevant. The point is absolutely relevant if it could possibly be used as a defeater, because it requires the clarification to ensure that it can't be used as a defeater.
Okay. Oppo's entire basis on this point's relevancy is that this point is that I'm trying to use as a defeater. I've clarified 5 to 6 different times in debate to him, even pre this, that I am not using this as a defeater. I am using this to get back to the main point that he says that we've gotten a sub point from. So he says we've gotten a sub point from this main point. I've told him and clarified multiple times. I am using this confusion statement. I'm saying you are confused. I use confusion in the context of you're confused as to how to hold a conversation, not as a defeater, but to tell him we need to get back to the main point. And he agreed with me. So all I'm trying to say is that his antithesis was based on this possibility of me using it as a defeater, which never existed within the debate. I never used I never used as a defeater. It was in actuality, I'm just saying that, we need to get back to the main point and we're derailing. That's all I said. So that whole point that you made up from a concession is just false. It's just bullshit.
What? I think you missed my entire point.
You completely don't understand what I'm saying.
No, I get that you're trying to say. Listen. I get that you're trying to say. I get that you're trying to say that the confusion thing was just meant to be used as a method to get back on the track.
Multiple times previous to
the conversation.
Like,
no, I get that, Jester. All I'm trying to say
is against yourself. You're arguing stuff I've never said.
No, I think that what you're misunderstanding here is that my whole argument is against your whole argument that this was irrelevant. No, my whole argument here is against you saying that this point is irrelevant. That's what I'm arguing against. You conceded to the point being relevant by accepting the fact that it could be used as a win con.
That's
I agree that your intent. Listen. After clarifying that the intent of the word confusion was to get back on track, I agree that was your intent. But that's what I'm saying.
I'm not debating.
That's not what I'm. That's not what I'm saying.
Something that he made up on his own. Like he's literally attacking something that he made up on his own. I can't.
The possibility. The possibility is what required the clarity.
You're attacking a possibility.
I'm not attacking the possibility. I'm saying the possibility existing is what caused this entire dispute.
In actuality, after I've clarified multiple times what I'm saying, and even way before this, like 20 minutes ago, I told you, I said confusion in the context of we need to go back, and you agreed with me. And how you're saying that it's possible
that doesn't matter. That's not what I'm arguing against.
But if
that's not what I'm arguing against. I'm arguing against the fact that you said this point was irrelevant.
If I clarified how I'm using it, and then you bring up a possibility, you're just dumb as fuck. How that makes no sense.
I'm arguing against the fact that you said this sub point was irrelevant. That's what I'm arguing against. It's not, because it encompassed the possibility of a defeater. That's why it's not irrelevant.
I'm gonna talk, and I'm gonna just. Okay, you done?
I said what I had to say. Yeah.
You're saying that this point is relevant because it's possible that I could have used this as a defeater against you. I'm saying if that's the basis for the relevancy, in actuality within the debate on recording, I've never used it as a defeater. I've clarified multiple times that I'm not using it as a defeater against you, and I'm just using it to get back to the main point where we were friends. So you're arguing against a brick wall.
The reason as to why I considered this a relevant point and not compromising dialectics is because of that possibility. You see, the reason this got
you went in a circle.
The reason that this got dragged out so far is because we began to argue which one of us conceded. That's why this got dragged out so far past the point of you clarifying your intention. You understand that, right?
Horribly ad nauseum, but you could give.
It wasn't ad nauseum at all.
I think you just went in a circle. I mean,
it wasn't.
Ace could give his opinion on it. I think you went in a circle.
I'm explaining as to why we had all this excess conversation, because in essence, the entire thing, it's actually because of you.
Okay.
The entire sub point here.
We'll stop it
the
right
entire
here.
Sub point
because I'm not going to stamina the debate
is on the relevance of the sub point.
I'll stop the recording right here.
Regarding
no, actually, Ace to give his opinion on it. I'll stop the recording right here after Ace gives his opinion, and then we'll see if
he said, "Send me the recording and let me judge it."